let's click on start streaming. Alright, that should have been enough time for Twitch, yeah. And bing bada boom bada biggy biggy boom.
Interesting. Oh my god, the boom is on top. Holy shit. Holy fuck. And the conclusion. Fucking shit. Oh fuck, that was gonna destroy my PC. Oh,
This world is big, by the way.
Well, that sucked. I went through like 5 load
sorry.
screens before it let me in.
That's so shitty.
There we go. Let's see where everyone is. Oh, they're there.
That is a happy fish with face tracking.
That is a very adorable fish.
Oh, it's Hantor. I remember Hantor. He's the one with the avatar that makes that funny noise.
Oh, guys,
what the fuck?
Oh, it's gonna be a while.
Nice fish.
You know you can't leave the pool for this entire event,
I
right?
mean, I eat a bit like about 4.
You're a fish. You
Oh
live
my
in there
God.
now. You made your bed.
Heroics.
Oh.
Rook is quite a.
Well, if I'm part fish, half creature.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. Call fish. Those are dummies, right?
Hobby is open.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Stop.
I just left a rave, and this is what they played as the last song. This felt surreal. I joined and felt like it was in the same world.
It's September.
Hello, fellow non-furries.
Do you remember what? Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, those fish are incredible.
Adorable.
Actually. Really made, really well made. Actually.
Yes, do you remember the 21st night?
Of September.
Yeah.
Of September.
Yeah.
They're coming.
What happened to that?
Boop.
Oh, that song was gonna drive me
Waiting
insane,
a
by the way.
little way.
Hello.
I mean,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice to see so many people actually.
My heart was singing
Yeah, for the first time in a very long time.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's an important question. Okay.
to the songs that
Was it
you were
ringing?
bringing.
It's been a while.
Or something.
hold on.
Absolutely not. No, it was like 15 minutes.
Oh,
No,
I should have
it was-
done
I
that
know
like
how it
thing.
is, 'cause
I
used
should have
to
posted
go
like
on
Earth, Wind, and Fire's like album just in front of the banner.
early.
Hell yeah.
Oh no,
21st night.
it's not loading.
So, it's just I'm old. So,
I was working on
yeah.
this today.
Wait, I've only just understood.
To start running, I had to like.
I get Earth. Oh my god. Storm, Earth, and Fire. Yo, there should be a fucking WoW version of this song called Storm, Earth, and Fire.
Hello, Alex.
Dang,
Oh,
you
yeah,
got
I'm
downloading.
There should have been. Oh, do you know why? Because I actually we found out like crunch compression. It's not good. And I had a lot of crunch compression textures on my side. And I'm like, maybe I should turn it off. I actually have to redo my avatar for a bit just to remove all the crunch textures,
Also, hi, Rosie.
the crunch compressions.
Yeah.
Hi,
And it
chicken.
worked out well.
Hello.
Bad. Like, I think.
Yeah, crunch compression is no bueno for the
Wait, can
CPU.
you say something again?
But, like,
The only thing it does is reduce the download size.
Sometimes
That's
it's just-
all.
You sounded way different for a second.
I was like, oh
Yeah, I mean, like, I've noticed right now, like, I'm not dropping too much frames now, luckily, because of probably, switched to, everything, crunch compression, so I just removed it, straight up.
Yeah, I optimized that as well. Remove current compression.
Probably running out of VRCFT.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's like 12 gigs used from 20. So that's great.
Here my hope is waning. I was hoping this meetup might be a little bit smaller because it overlaps with Vive, but clearly it's not.
Oh yeah, it does, yeah. No, I mean, maybe.
Clearly
Too big just now.
Clearly that doesn't make the meetup that much smaller, so...
No worries.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can't really escape it.
True.
Can't escape such strange in my head.
I'll go inside, have a little bit in the lounge.
Like I've noticed.
Realized it was me, and they were talking about my face tracking as if it was a separate person.
Isn't that a copyrighted song, the one that is playing right now? Just, like, a cover version of that? That sound. Yeah, that is most definitely a copyright-free version of that song, but yeah.
I did the phony.
I wonder why.
Wait, so first what I
It
heard?
has sound. It has sound.
It has sounds too? No way.
Hell yeah, it does. What's very Subway Surfers.
Wait, hang on, put it to my ear, put it to my ear.
Oh, that's great, I love it.
I got one
It's
hand.
going so fucking going through.
Hold on. Here you go.
Second.
Oh my fucking god.
I was like, I gotta get something to keep people's attention. I don't know. I gotta...
You're just doing a presentation and every slide is like a small game Subway Surfers and then back to the presentation.
Above the bottom right, yeah.
I
Shifts to the middle.
I am the one who surfs the subway.
Anyway, I completely like missed the whole discussion because I felt like I would have joined too late and missed a bunch of details. What's the consensus on Vive's new headset? Because I feel like it's gonna be another Vive XR situation.
It's the new Vive. Yeah, the new Vive headset is basically just an upgraded Focus 3. That's it.
It's just to me it just sounds like it's closing the gap between XR and Focus.
Yeah.
Nope. It's not, I don't think it's filling any gaps at all.
There you go.
It's making a bigger gap in Vive's wallet. That's about it.
I don't know. Maybe. Making a gap in my trash bin. Yeah.
They always get like the newcomers to like get their things. Like the amount of people that just go like, oh yeah, this is a headset.
Like, oh my god, this headset's so good.
It's like, oh no, it's bad. What? I didn't expect it.
Who would have thought? And then they blame the entirety of VR on it. They say, oh, like it's bullshit. Like is.
I love it.
Yeah.
They should have stuck to the original business strategy.
Yeah, and if people want a DisplayPort PC VR headset, just get a PSVR 2. Gets you like 90% there, but with better controllers, OLED screens, and better lenses.
Bluetooth to work.
That's true. The Bluetooth thing on the PSVR 2 sucks. But otherwise, the controllers are actually pretty amazing on the PSVR 2.
It looked pretty good. Yeah.
They're very comfortable.
The headset tells... the headset sending the controller data, like position. Despite the headset being the one that tracks it, and it sends the controller position to the controller to the network via Bluetooth, rather than using the fucking USB. So if the Bluetooth connection is bad, the controller actually.
Yeah, there's the thing is, inside-out tracking relies on IMU data. If you don't have IMU data, you don't have inside-out tracking. Period. At least for the controllers. So it makes sense that the tracking kind of kicks the bucket when the Bluetooth connection sucks. Because all the IMU data goes over Bluetooth.
No, but I detect, like, the optical correction of that, because it should be correcting, like, every other frame to actually do something.
But the thing is, if you don't have a fully unique pattern, LED pattern on the controller, you need the IMU rotation data to figure out what's the rotation of a controller in relation to the rotation of the headset. And if you then don't have the IMU data, then you don't know what rotation the controller is, and just... Yeah. Like I said, no IMU data, no inside-out tracking. From what I understand, so it makes sense that it just disappears.
Yeah.
No. There's an order. There's an order.
Yeah, no. I think the PSVR 2 on PC is like a botched piece of shit. You also can't launch VR normally. It will just say no headset detected. You have to launch the PSVR app.
No, you don't have to.
Unreal game.
You do not have to run the PSVR 2 app.
Animations.
I had to run it to get it to work. Maybe because I have more than one headset driver installed, but...
I also have more than one headset driver installed. I just plug it in, start SteamVR, and it works. I don't have to run the PSVR 2 app.
Yeah,
I don't know what's wrong with your setup.
It just said no headset detected.
That's weird.
I have, what was it? Vive console, Vive streamer, Vive business streamer.
Maybe. Are you using...
Connect,
Wait.
VD, Oculus.
Were you using the official PlayStation adapter?
Yeah.
Then that might actually be the reason why. That PlayStation VR 2 adapter, like the official one, only activates when you run the software. Because I was using the VioLink box, and I don't have to run the software for that.
Why? It's just a fucking VioLink box. It's Vive only.
You talking about PSVR 2?
Yes, we were talking about PSVR 2.
Yeah, PSVR 2.
Does 120 Hz work for you?
Yes.
Yes, it's only 120 Hz. 90 Hz does not work.
I have to disable...
Is what mine's stuck in.
If you have a Vio driver enabled, you have to disable the Vio driver, because the Vio driver always resets the refresh rate back to 60 Hz, which then SteamVR corrects to the lowest supported refresh rate of a current used headset, which is absolutely fucking stupid. Yeah, that's why you have to disable...
Which is what I'm running into right now.
That's why you have to disable Vio driver. It's just in the SteamVR. If you go, let me just check again. If you go into the SteamVR settings, start,
it still doesn't fix it. I'm still
start and close.
Oh, go into SteamVR config and then set the Varjo driver to false. That driver will still be enabled.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to disable.
I don't think that's gonna save.
I had to disable it in the extensions, restart SteamVR, and then I could change the setting.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and try that with the PSVR. But yeah, no, I've never seen 120 Hz on PC.
Yes, Varjo.
I've only seen 90 Hz.
It's just a smudgy blurriness, to be honest.
What, 90 Hz?
It doesn't end the picture until it goes back to normal.
It's just so smooth.
What I could barely understand you there.
Persistence, man. You gotta lower the display brightness. It's pretty cool. Well, the lowest is still not enough, but like it helps greatly.
Yeah, no, but I also want to see.
And it just poops.
You want to be able to see? Well, deal with the properties of OLED.
Mid. Yeah.
Good hit.
I think maybe we should disperse a little bit. It's getting very crowded over here. Can barely understand anyone.
In much more beloved.
maps like this where it's like.
Oh, CB, you're somewhat clever. My Vive tracker is only charging at 0.25 watts because I've changed the LiPo, and the third wire isn't connected. Changing the tracker config to just ignore that, so setting the minimum penetration to -255, doesn't work. Do you know how?
I have honestly no
I don't want
way.
to short a 10 kilo resistor.
I have honestly no idea. My only guess is the third wire. It's like a sensing wire. Like a temperature sensing wire, I believe, on most battery packs. And if it can't read the temperature, it's just, oh, let's be safe and charge the battery as slowly as possible to not damage the battery. That's my only guess. That it thinks that the battery is like at 0 Kelvin or something like that. And it just charges the battery extremely slowly to protect it. That's my only guess.
I'll short 10 kilo resist to see if that works, but I'm not sure if it will because I measured the negative and third wire, and that was at 85 kilorooms. Oh.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, my only guess.
Temperature or it's the capacity that's reported.
True, that could as well be. But then, in that case, if it's the capacity, I don't think it would charge at all. Because it doesn't know the state of charge of the battery. And the thing is, normally the state of charge is being read through the voltage during startup of the device.
Yeah, you can define the voltage range, but you can't define... And you can also define the current. But it just ignores the current part. Like, it stops charging when it reaches 4.2 volts, which is what I said.
It's probably then that it just thinks that the battery is like super cold and charges it slowly to be safe. That's the only thing that I can think of.
See if I have any resistors laying around. If I don't, I'm gonna have to buy more. Sucks.
I mean, worst case that can happen is you try it and it doesn't work.
Your fucking charging module to it.
Thing is, I'm more into the software side of things rather than the hardware side of things, so I can only guess.
Ooh, I got the I got the 7800 X3D PC going. What do you mean? It's the same thing as the Focus 3.
No, it has two cameras in the front of it now, and it looks so fucking ugly.
Oh, you're talking about the appearance. You're not talking about the fucking headset itself. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I found it looked fine.
It has Cosmos syndrome. It now has 7 cameras on it.
Oh yeah, right.
Well, I finally got. I got 3 PCs going. I got the 5800 X3D, the 7800 X3D, and the 12900 KS. And I could swap in my 14900K. I can do.
Is there a real difference between the KS and K?
It's just higher silicon quality, right? Better memory controller. Clock speed.
To be honest, I only know the KS is the Fortnite processor because it was banned with Fortnite for a while.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you know, I got the 12900 KS for 244 USD, and it's faster than a 5800 X3D by a lot, and 5800 X3Ds cost more, so... Amazing.
Can it handle Unity and VRChat at the same time? Or does it just strike the fuck out?
Well, it's a 16-core processor.
Yeah, but Unity and VRChat are both very cache heavy.
I've been running benchmarks on my 12900 KS against my 5800 X3D.
While doing stuff in Unity, like importing assets and stuff.
I can't tell you. I haven't tested that.
I still would like
more memory bandwidth.
I still would like an next 3D CPU that has dual CCDs with 3D cache, because then you don't have to do any of the like Project Lasso kind of stupid things. Because then you have homogeneous cores again.
Well,
somewhat homogeneous.
Yes. Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I just want an X3D with more cores and only a single CCD. I hate the dual CCD thing. Like, let me use my entire processor when doing stuff. I don't want to have to cut off half my processor to get the same performance.
I mean, I'm running a dual CCD CPU right now, but it's like a...
Pay double the amount for double the cores and only be able to use the same fucking amount anyway.
Yeah, no. You pay double the amount for no additional benefit, because you're not going to use the other CCD unless you're doing like, workload stuff.
You get the one benefit of increased power draw.
You can do more multi-threading. You can do more multitasking. So for example, you're playing a game, that game is running on one of the CCDs, and then you can have your browser and your OBS and whatnot running on the other CCD. That is the only benefit to the dual CCD CPUs that I've recognized.
Yeah, but you got to process Lasso.
Yeah, but if you have an 8-core processor anyway, you don't even need that.
You have to process Lasso for it to do that. That's the thing.
That's true. I don't even do that, and it's
stock. It's going to try and just turn off the CCDs, and it's going to run everything on the X3D.
Maybe if you have like the AMD utility, if you have the AMD utility installed, maybe. But in my case, it actually works surprisingly well, and I don't have anything extra installed. It doesn't do core parking.
I don't know.
But it seems to do at least a decent job at moving the tasks to be all on one CCD. So for example, if I just go into Task Manager right now, I can see that one of the CCDs is like all fully loaded and the other one is only half loaded. So seems to at least intelligently assign the threads. But then again, I also told VRChat to only use the first half of the CPU, so it's probably bad.
So I was looking at my CD to see if my thing was doing it right.
I don't know. You know what? I was doing some benchmarking earlier today, and my 12900 KS was beating the 7800 X3D in the pug. You want to know how it was? It was beating it because I was in an 80-player instance, and Intel CPUs run better in high player count instances. And so, under the load of 80 players, the 12900 KS was faster than the 7800 X3D. But as soon as I moved to a 40-player count instance, or I should say, as people started leaving to the point it got to a 40-player count instance, the 7800 X3D was much faster.
Yeah, my only guess why the Intel CPU was better in like more people instance.
It's just the cache and memory. It's so simple.
My guess is that it's more to do with branch prediction. That Intel branch prediction is just better, and that can deal with a prediction miss better. Because if you have that many people, it'll have to jump between tasks a lot more often than with 40 people.
Okay, one, the Intel CPU is clocking higher than the 7800 X3D, right? It's got a higher clock speed.
Okay, yeah,
Two,
that definitely helps.
It's running the RAM. It's running the RAM at 7400 megahertz versus 6000, right? That the 7800 X3D runs.
7400.
So, of course it's going to perform better. Yeah, that's normal on Intel. That's how you should be running an Intel CPU.
Yeah, Intel, ideally you want to run at 8000.
Yeah, well, ideally, that's like, you gotta buy the right components to get 8000 working, but like, yeah.
I didn't even know DDR5 speeds went that fast. I still remember people trying to run 5 gigahertz on DDR4.
Way higher. I use like 10,000.
You can go... Okay, well that's theoretical. We don't have any sticks that do that yet. At the moment, we've only got sticks that go up to 8800 megahertz.
That's still very fast.
There's probably enterprise memory that reaches 10,000, because there are 512 GB DIMMs for enterprise.
No, we got the capacity. We don't have the speed yet. We don't have the memory ICs that are actually capable. And at least the memory controllers as well. Think about the fucking memory controllers on the CPUs.
Yeah, it's I think 10 giga...
probably gonna be like the warmest part of the fucking system.
I think 10 gigahertz on DDR5 is a similar situation to 5 gigahertz on DDR4. Like, 5 gigahertz on DDR4, you can do it on some Intel CPUs with some Intel motherboards, But you really have to be lucky, and the CPU can't be too hot. If it's too hot, then it just crashes.
No. See, the difference is between DDR4 and DDR5 is DDR5 introduces ECC, so they're doing error correcting on the memory, and so to find stability,
error correction on single bits.
Yes.
More of the ECC isn't possible.
Yes, you are correct. And so to stabilize DDR5, it takes way longer. Like when you're doing memory stress testing on DDR4, you can basically find out whether your memory is unstable within the first 4 hours, generally 12 hours, like max. You can find if it's stable or not. DDR5, you need to do a full 24-hour stress test because 22 hours in, it can just crash. Or not crash, cause an error.
Yeah, that
I've been
when you have
having to
non-binary
deal with
DIMMs as
that.
well, that like increases substantially. I had to do a 72-hour memory test for mine, just because non-binary DIMMs like really fuck you.
I've only been doing just over 24-hour testing on my one, because I actually have been using the PC on top of doing overclocking, so it's been on, it's been off, it's been on, you know, like.
To be fair, I haven't really looked into overclocking since forever. I looked into how AMD PBO works, and that was basically it when I built my current PC.
Oh my god, DDR5 extreme overclocking is so fucking annoying compared to DDR4. DDR4, you kind of just like sets things in BIOS, and then it'll crash, and you just reset BIOS, and it's like, oh okay, thanks.
Yeah.
But then DDR5, it just locks up during training, and there's no way to tell if it's still training or not.
Yep.
It's really fucking annoying.
Well, that's an issue with
the only way to get it out of it is to reset
AMD
CMOS
more
while
than
it's
Intel,
on.
but yeah.
It's so annoying. I think it's also ASRock. That's a mix of like ASRock's jank as well. Because the PG Lightning is
that's
like
more
a
of an
server board that they gamifies.
Yeah, that's more of an AMD issue than an Intel, because I don't know. I haven't been screwing around with the 7800X3D that much. Like I said, I only just built it yesterday, so I've only been using it for a day. 6400 is working.
But extreme isn't.
I don't know if it's stable. My motherboard has a fan built onto it, or that blows directly onto the DIMMs for cooling.
Okay, that's neat. I still remember the only
doesn't have any fans on it.
The only motherboard I ever had with a fan. The fan didn't die, but the thing that it was supposed to cool did end up dying. My first X570 motherboard, you know, the original ones all had like little fans on the chipset. Yeah, the chipset at some point just started dying. So I replaced it with
like 20 to 40 mil fans. Always.
The fan still worked. It was the chipset that just started dying for some reason. If it reached a certain temperature, it just immediately shut off.
Strange.
It's probably because that fan always like just creates like a near vacuum in the chip, like where the chipset is when you have a large GPU. Because it was made with like the 20 Ti in mind, where the largest card was like the size of a budget card now.
The thing is, the 3090 that I have in my PC, it's a Founders Edition card, and it has cooling fins, where like the rear fan, the one that just blows into the card, it also blows some air towards the chipset. And so the chipset always got the hot air from the GPU. So it wasn't completely starved.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. It's probably like it's probably just being choked by hot air.
Yeah, I mean, from the newer board that I have, that one has just a big passive heatsink on it, and that one reaches 80 degrees just fine. Doesn't immediately crash the system. Whereas on the old board, the moment the chipset reached 70 degrees, boom, off. Like, the system was still running, but everything that was connected to the chipset just disconnected and wouldn't reconnect. Which is pretty much all of the USB.
AMD jank, man.
Yeah, it was stupid.
So
but
you have like 2 USB ports. maybe an NVMe slot, and the by 16 slot, and that's it.
Yeah. Like, it's surprising. Windows... I don't think I've ever had it running long enough that Windows would crash. But Windows would already behave very weirdly. Like, it wouldn't open up any applications, it wouldn't open up any Explorer windows. Actually, it would open up certain applications, but not all of them. But it wouldn't open up any Explorer windows, it wouldn't let me save anything, it wouldn't let me open up any files. It was just...
It probably lost access to the drive.
Yeah.
So it was only able to do things in memory. And Windows does like to cache basically everything it can in memory.
Yeah.
Like, when Windows loads, my system freezes for about 2 or 3 seconds while it's just filling up all my memory. Because my memory, I think it's only got like 45 gigabyte a second, right? But then I have 96 gigs.
Yeah, I couldn't even shut down the system properly, so I had to just go on the back, flip the power switch, and kill it that way.
45?
I'm not sure of the actual speed. I tested when, like, my system was unstable as fuck.
Oh, okay. Because I got my 12900K sitting at just under 112 gigabytes a second of memory bandwidth.
It could be higher now, but I'm not sure.
I honestly never tested the memory bandwidth on my system, because for me it doesn't really matter. I don't need the fastest system out there. I just need something that works. So for me, it's just grab whatever's recommended for the platform and enable XMP or whatever AMD's equivalent is now called, and call it a day.
DOCP.
Yeah, DOCP. I did try.
It just still calls it XMP, and then when on the tooltip it says this isn't XMP, it is DOCP. Just because people search for XMP.
The last time, or the only time I really dabbled in properly overclocking was on my 8700K. Like, most of those chips could do 5 GHz from what I understand, but mine, I just really sucked at the silicon lottery. Mine worked on 4.7, but it was not fully stable. Like, in certain situations it would still crash. 4.6 was like the maximum I could squeeze out of it.
So, Golden Lottery for 6th gen could hit 5 gigahertz. 7th gen, it was like not Golden Lottery, but like if you had above average, you could hit 5 gigahertz, but you're still using a fair amount of voltage.
If you had Golden 7th gen, you could hit like 8 gigahertz. Like one of my friends, they hit like 8.2 gigahertz to like
air cooling
700, 800 watts.
I'm talking about on air cooling, like water cooling, that kind of thing, like an AIO. I'm not talking about
yeah,
like,
he
theoretically
just has, like, an AIO with 2 fucking radiators on.
Can't do 8 gigahertz.
You can do 8 gigahertz, it just draws a shitload of power.
No, you can't do 8 gigahertz unless you go sub-zero.
No, you can. It just draws like 800 watts.
Yeah, if it draws 800 watts, you need sub-zero cooling. Because the heat density that you have is so extreme that the only thing that can still keep the chip cool is liquid nitrogen. Anything else will just not draw the heat away fast enough.
Back then, on 7th gen, on 7th gen, they hadn't even switched to solder. They were still using fucking thermal paste under the IHS.
But yeah, the thermal density is the reason why the like 13900K is basically impossible to cool. Like, Linus Tech Tips did an experiment with like an industrial chiller.
Yes,
but
that's a bit iffy. No, that's a bit iffy, man. Like, you're right, but like there's a bit more to it because you have a heat spreader, right? And it's just a copper slug, right? If he had actually applied the cooling directly to the die versus to the heat spreader that has to soak in the heat first, then you would have seen the temperatures plummet right down because it wouldn't have had to go through solder, like IHS and then liquid metal or whatever they use to directly, you know, touch the.
I mean, it was fine at stock speeds. That way they could actually get it below 100 degrees Celsius, but the moment they tried to do overclocking, it just... no way. For that, you really need direct die, as you explained, and at that point, you're no longer in stock territory. At that point, you're in deep into enthusiast territory. Talking about direct die cooling,
EK made a new AIO that is a direct die AIO. So it's like the cheapest way to get direct die cooling or whatever. I think it's like $350 or something, and it's like a 360mm radiator. It's really impressive.
I mean, when it comes to direct die cooling, I actually really like the what was it called again? The direct die cooler from Debauer, from Thermal Grizzly. That one looks absolutely sick. But
the looks? Yes.
But my problem is with with direct die in all cases is just I'm a very clumsy person. My CPUs would not survive the procedure. 100%, I guarantee you.
I would rather buy direct die kits and stuff from China than buy from Debauer, because Debauer does not have a good track record for making the perfect, you know, like, direct die thing. Like, if you have a hotspot, it's really bad.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not going to comment any further, but, like, yeah, I would avoid not... I wouldn't stop other people from getting it, but, like, personally, I would rather get something from China that I know is properly made.
In general, I wouldn't get direct die cooling anyways, like I said. My CPU wouldn't survive the procedure, and I'd rather just plonk in the CPU, mount an AIO to it, and call it a day.
There's no point on AMD. AMD doesn't overclock well. It's only Intel chips that overclock well.
Yeah.
He started using an AIO when he was doing it, but then he went to a custom loop. But it's not Sub-Zero.
Custom loop. What's the size radiator?
Yes. It looks like a 420 in the front.
Oh god, I can't
360 on the top.
see it. I got my brightness too low. 420 on the front, 360 at the top. Yeah, that's a lot of cooling. Is that a 120 in the back as well?
No,
that's a lot of radiator, man.
I trolled all of my friends today. I was in a call with them, and I realized what day it was, and I'm like,
anyway.
shit, I have to start a stream. I have to start a stream right now. Sure, I guess. They all join the stream, and I just fucking start playing. Do you remember
what was I gonna say?
night of September is my intro?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, fucking load, man.
Oh yeah, custom cooling, custom water loops, and direct die cooling, and liquid metal, and all of that jazz it's very interesting, but not for me. I just want a PC that works.
Yeah. Having a like 7950X3D is not a CPU that just works.
Yeah. I have a 5900X, and I've learned my lesson. I won't go dual CCD again. Like, it works out, but just barely.
TikTok is just not loading. You get like a whopping 5 videos before it just rips the shit out of you.
For me, I'm sticking to Intel until Intel goes chiplet. When Intel goes chiplet, I'm hopping back on AMD.
to remodel and retexture things. I get it.
I mean,
I'm
it's
just gonna go AMD again because my board was fucking expensive.
Their dragon model.
Like, now that I have all these systems in my hand and I can directly see the difference, like, trying different things and stuff like that, I'm like, fuck, man. I wish people knew.
the thing that
I wish people knew what it was like to actually use these things.
the thing that kind of makes me not want to go Intel for now is just the power draw.
See,
Like to get similar performance between AMD and Intel, the Intel CPU draws like 2 to 3 times as much in a lot of scenarios. So for me, that already is like a big no-no.
Yeah, but if it's...
We're talking a 100 versus 300 watt CPU here.
Yeah, that's a big difference in my wallet.
We're not talking about 300 watts. When have you seen a 24-core CPU loaded up 100% in a game so that that CPU can draw 300 plus watts?
Fair. Never,
right? I'm telling you, people blow out the issue because realistically, under gaming workloads, your AMD CPU is going to sit somewhere between 60 watts and 100 watts. And your Intel CPU is going to sit between 100 watts and 160 watts, or 170.
That's
so yes,
still more.
But it's not like this unfathomable 300 watt number that's impossible to cool and stuff. No, it's impossible to cool under synthetic benchmarks. Like 100% workloads,
it's
or
just
like
the cost of running it.
Or the
It's expensive in Europe.
Exactly.
You know the difference?
Any watt I can save, I will save. that it's the same.
And you have many things running.
It's the same reason.
Buy a 4070 instead of a 7900 XTX because a 4070 draws 200 watts and a 7900 XTX draws 360.
I was gonna say, the only
friend's 4080 gets like
I
400 watts.
do not want to get the 5090 if it draws like if a TDP is rated for like 450 watts. Like I've drawn the line, 350 watts for a GPU is the absolute max. Period. Preferably lower. So for me, the target would actually be 5080, even if it's gonna be like 18 gigabytes of VRAM. I've never seen VRAM go beyond like 75% usage for me, so I don't need the 24 gigs.
Yeah. I relate.
So for me, it's probably gonna be a 5080.
I don't have a run shown yet.
Yeah, I'm also rendering at 3100 by 3200. Alright, as well.
Why?
Because that's just really good lighting with that pro. Looks nice.
Yeah, I don't know. Most of the time, the max amount I see is 18 gigs used on my 24 gig cards, whether it be the 3090, 4090, whatever.
Yeah.
So a 16 gig card is perfectly fine.
And from what I understand as well, the VRAM usage that software can read out is not what is actually being used, it's what has been reserved by the game.
Including reserve. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes the actual usage is lower, and sure, your GPU might be at 100% VRAM utilization, but is it actually using it? Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if the 1590 draws like more than 400 watts, I'm just not even going to consider it. I'll just stick with my XTX until Nvidia can make something efficient.
Like, my problem right now is I already have a 3090.
If they're going to brute force efficient power, then...
Like,
to me.
yeah, like, my problem is I already have a 3090, so, and anything I buy should be at least a sensible upgrade in terms of performance. But I don't want to go any more in terms of power draw, so that's why I draw the line at 350 TDP.
You
If
could
it's
still buy
lower,
a
it's
4090.
nice. The 4090 is more power draw than the 3090.
Just undervolt it. Just undervolt it, man. It's a 350 watt
I
card, once you undervolt it.
already made my point of I don't want to mess with my hardware. I just want to plug it in and use it. I've already gotten to the point where I just don't want to tinker at all with my hardware anymore.
I'm the same. I just plug it in and use it. Like the system knows the limits I set.
You said you
goes to that. That's it.
You said you like fucking did RAM testing and stuff like that. You said now you're saying
I did
you
memory
just want to plug it in
testing
and
to
use
see
it.
how why my system was crashing once every 3 days.
And it was RAM.
Yeah, it was memory.
Was it running at 6400?
No, it was running at 4800 for that reason.
Oh, and it was crashing? What the fuck did you do?
I don't know. But then setting 6400, it just works.
Fucked if I know, man. AMD shit.
And another point with undervolting is, sure, you can reduce the power draw that way, but you're also reducing the performance that you get here from your GPU. Sure, it's still more than the next card down.
The performance reduction from going from 450 watts to 350 watts on the 4090 is less than 8%.
Really small.
It's less than 8%. It's more like a 6% performance difference.
And still, I don't want to pay $2 grand.
To save 100 watts of power, I lost 6% of my 60% faster graphics card over a 3090.
Still, I don't...
Yeah, it's like the XTX. The XTX stock power draw, it's like 320 to 350, depending on like the version you get.
Still, it's like a
it goes to like 280 or something.
It's like a €2,000 GPU.
I'm just saying, you make it out like it's a 450 watt, like it has to be a 450 watt card, like it's not
fair.
It can't go down anymore.
Fair.
And it can go down. It can go down if you tweak it.
How much is the 4090 now? Surely it can't be more expensive.
It's
AMD stuff has just gotten way cheaper.
It's on like a
wait,
gain
wait,
ward
wait.
and a
Let me
pallet.
tell you
4090 is on sale for like
The 50
1,700 euros.
Fuck off!
5080
200 quids.
Well, that's
The
Germany for you.
5080 is coming out in less than 3 months. Or 4 months or whatever. It's coming out in less than 4 months, the 5080, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna get a
5080
40
is
series
going to
card at
be-
this point.
What the fuck?
It's going to be a 4090 in performance with 16 gigs of VRAM, and it's cheaper to manufacture, so it's probably going to have an MSRP of, I don't know, $1,400.
$1,400 in Nvidia's calculations right now equals €2 grand in euros. Not 2 grand, but the 4890 is MSRP 1,600 USD, 2 grand in euros.
It's £2,200 in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's 1,400 US dollars,
Australian dollars,
that is gonna be more expensive than my 3090 in euros.
£2,200 is 4,305
Yeah.
Australian dollars and 96 cents.
for a graphics card.
Dude, I paid 2,400 for my 4090.
Yeah, for some reason companies go, oh, the pound is higher than the euro and the dollar. Let's increase the price.
Anyway,
realizing
the
that,
point
like,
that I'm
no
trying
one
to
can afford
say
anything here.
is it's going to be a 4090 in performance. It's going to have 16 gigs of VRAM. It's going to cost less, like hundreds of dollars less. I don't know how much you're going to be saving, but like it's going to cost hundreds of dollars less, and it's going to use less power.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be a 350 watt card or a 300 watt card, somewhere in that range.
We'll see. We'll see. But honestly, the 5080 is probably gonna be plenty for my use case.
And it's going to have DisplayPort 2.1.
Is it gonna have UHBR 20 or only UHBR 10?
Oh fuck. I swear. Okay. This is my own personal guess. I reckon.
Display but 1.4 still.
I reckon it's going to use your HBR 13.5. I don't think it's. I don't think they're going to adopt 20.
That's still better than the current production consumer cards from AMD and Intel, which say they support DP 2.1, but that's only because they support some additional metadata signaling that they added with DP 2.1 that is mandatory. Not even UHBR 10 is mandatory to plaster DP 2.1 support on your GPU. And that is just fucking stupid. AMD cards I think have UHBR 10 support. But I'm pretty sure the Intel Arc
UHBR 13.5, but you have to get the enterprise card to get UHBR 20.
There's only one enterprise card from AMD that has UHBR 20 support. Only one. And that one only supports it on one port.
Yeah.
And it's a mini display port.
A lot of bandwidth and a lot of signaling and a lot of like signal integrity issues and stuff.
And it's a mini DP connector out of all of the things, which none of the official cables actually have a mini DP connector. So you need an adapter to use UHBR 20 on that card. But none of the adapters officially support it. That's fucking stupid. You have to use. You basically have to use the cable that is included. Yes, we're talking about actual DisplayPort signaling and how stupid it is.
What's the bet? What's the bet that NVIDIA on their lower end SKUs, like the 60 class, maybe the 70 class, I'm going to say 60 class and down, they just put UHBR 10, and all the upper end cards get UHBR, what was that? What did I say before?
UHBR 13.5. I even go a step lower and say for the budget cards, they're gonna do the absolute bare minimum to plaster DP 2.1 support on their cards, which is no UHBR, just that one extra metadata signaling that they added.
I don't see. The thing is, I don't think so. They already support HDMI 2.1 at its full gigabit bandwidth. So realistically, UHBR 10 is less than HDMI 2.1, 48 gigabit, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of expect them to at least support 10, and then like maybe not care about the higher end configurations of 2.1.
No.
Because it's going to require more PCB layers, better signal integrity, higher cost, blah blah blah, and so they won't do it on the budget cards. But the higher end cards, they might. Yeah, okay, we can put 13.5, but we're not putting the top one on because that's going to be too expensive, too much money, or not needed, or whatever the bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, if UHBR 20, the longest officially supported cable, is 1.2 meters, then I can only imagine how difficult it is to implement onto a GPU itself.
Yeah.
Wait, 1.2 meters? That's my PC is more than 1.2 meters away from the top of my fucking desk.
Yeah, the problem is the signal integrity.
Do you just forget standing desks exist?
The thing is with
every device just doesn't.
No. The thing is, currently there are only copper cables. There are no fiber couplers right now that actually support the bandwidth, or that are designed for DP 2.1. So the only cables available right now are copper cables, and with copper, the problem is you just don't have a signal integrity. The signal is so fragile that extending the copper cable any longer basically requires making it as thick as, like, I don't know, a power line cable rated for 16 amps.
You've either got to put You've either got to put in active repeaters into the cable,
like every meter. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just how it is at such high bandwidths and distance.
There's a reason.
16 cable isn't thick though. It's
well, there are copper SFP cables that can do 25 gigabits, but that's still less than the 80 gigabit that UHBR 20 has on full 4-lane connection.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like when you want SFP 100 gigabit, your only option is basically optical.
Yep. We got Thunderbolt 5 coming out with, what is it, 80 gigabit soon?
That is over USB-C, but the thing is,
even fucking use Thunderbolt 4.
existing Thunderbolt.
Think of like 3 devices.
Existing Thunderbolt 3 and Thunderbolt 4 cables are also like, what, 60 centimeters long? They're really short.
You can get longer ones. My Gopper came with a longer. I guess it's not Thunderbolt. I guess it's USB 4, but it supports all the spec that Thunderbolt.
USB 4 and
does.
Thunderbolt 3 is kind of like the same thing.
Yes,
it is.
USB 4 doesn't have nearly as much mandatory stuff in its spec list, and
yeah, that's what I was about to say.
It's not validated. Like anything that is Thunderbolt actually was validated to properly work with every Thunderbolt device.
Yes. Yes, but the Thunderbolt validated ones could only use Intel chipsets, which was the whole point of like the validation process. Was like Intel was supplying the chipsets and stuff to them.
Yeah. Like the stupidest thing with Thunderbolt support on laptop.
USB 4 doesn't require the Intel chipset.
The stupidest.
It's like open now.
The stupidest thing with Thunderbolt support on Intel laptops is, sure, starting with I think it was 11th gen, where every Intel laptop has a Thunderbolt port because it's just part of a chipset. But the stupid thing of that is, now the DisplayPort lanes on your Thunderbolt port come from the iGPU. And if the only DP ports you have on your laptop are the Thunderbolt port, then, oh well, you now just lost PCVR support. I just think is fucking stupid.
Just break out from the Thunderbolt?
You can, but the thing is, the display lanes go to the iGPU.
Hello. Oh, and obviously VR headsets want to go to the GPU and not the iGPU.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting.
That's why the EV chargers work so much.
Like, it is still possible for manufacturers to put in a dedicated Thunderbolt chip like they used to before. In that case, they have full control over where the DP lanes come from, but if they just use a Thunderbolt connection from the chipset, then it's from the iGPU.
Yeah. I'm just gonna stick to my iGPU on my laptop.
My gaming laptop is a 10th gen. It still had a dedicated Thunderbolt chip on its board, so...
with an energy that was also talking about computer parts.
What?
I was literally just in a world with like 30 nanochips. They were all talking about computers.
Nerds!
Oh my god, question. Fuck off. Stop picking up.
Nerd bun buns.
And I got a free avatar with face tracking, which is always nice.
I probably should join.
Hey!
People are still here.
Hey.
My PCs.
I'm still surprised by how many people use that avatar. I literally just made it for my own use and figured, might as well just make a public version of it.
You're the creator of this avatar.
I can see the realization in your eyes.
That's even better.
You're just like,
world, we
look
just
up.
Copying over each other. That's even better. So just know your avatar has been copied 30 times.
It's fine. Like I said, I don't hold any copyright for that avatar. It's I honestly just took the design from another public that I used to use a lot earlier.
Right.
Like way back in the old
And
days.
I'm so grateful you added the face back into it.
Raged it to fucking 20 and got blinded.
What can I say? Whenever I
It's actually very rare to find any avatars that have face tracking board.
yeah, like I personally just use, yeah, There are a number of worlds with face tracking, but the problem is the selection is kind of limited, and in a lot of cases it's just a base avatar with no changes, like in Jerry's world. And in my case, it's just I use face tracking a lot. I pretty much can't go without it. No matter what I do, I always come back to the Nanachis. So.
Which face tracking hardware do you use?
Varjo Aero, Vive facial tracker.
1986, I think.
Quest Pro Vive facial tracker.
Oh. I'm using the shitty ass Quest Pro.
Varjo,
I don't like
Shitty Quest Pro.
Pimax AKX.
Quest Pro is pretty good.
Yeah, Quest Pro is pretty
It's just
decent,
so
and
clunky,
it's
though.
the most accessible.
It's just the head strap is so ass.
It's fine, I made a mount with
Head
the
strap is
Everybody
so
knows
ass.
that.
Get a globular classy.
Everybody knows that.
Globular classy.
Globular cluster
it's
only
okay.
is like a band-aid fix. It does not. It's not
In
perfect.
Tundra track, I have to
It makes it better, but it's not perfect.
And the fucking Pimax counterweight.
It's with the globular cluster and the full light blocker. It feels like a Vive Pro.
Nah.
It can't really.
No.
I don't think I'm gonna be any better because I want to get the new
Go back to natural height again.
and the giggle pop.
What?
I was thinking of adding that.
And he got
but then
beat.
it's like,
They are not
I already wear 10 trackers.
He got
This is
beat.
my actual real life height.
I'm a microwave. Put food near
No,
me or
you
warm up.
beak.
The point of VR is to immerse yourself in the
You
world.
haven't
I'm going to
started
immerse myself to an
transmitting
unhealthy
60
degree,
gigabytes yet, so
and no one will stop
you gotta
me.
figure out how to transmit 60 gigabytes.
Talking about immersion, I still need to play Subside,
Oh wait, I'm
like
not
the diving
streaming.
simulator. That one was. There's like a diving simulator with like hyper realistic graphics.
It's insane.
That sounds terrifying.
The head looks so big though.
It's very it's a very chill game. It's like you're diving in like a lake or whatever. So you have some wildlife, but it's like very peaceful.
Actually change it to an avatar.
It's a very chill game from the demo that I've played. Haven't gotten around to playing the full demo, the full version.
Is a Mama Jin.
Well, yeah. I don't know if I want to join my PC.
I don't know why my tracking gift like shifting around. Maybe my base stations are like not mounted better.
To benchmark
Like
them.
threw them on somewhere around here. I moved my whole setup today.
So there's this debate going on where the tiny avatars are the tall people in real life, and the tall avatars are the tiny people in real life. Is that true or not?
Could be. Could be.
My main AV is my normal height, and this is just bird height.
Yeah, this is just normal Nanachi height. And
It's in Bali, they call them space birds.
you space chickens.
I know. I want to make a new Sona that is very Bali.
Oh, you got a little
Purely
sparkles.
because I have more hours in sport than I have in VRChat.
If I were a fairy, that would probably be the mod I used.
Just love the Camino style. Oh my god, my head tracking's going woozy.
I forgot who made that model, but their models always look
Slayer.
super adorable. Yeah, RPG Slayer.
Yeah, RPG Slayer's models are good.
Yeah,
What?
no, I'm not having that.
No, I
issue
don't.
now Where the tracker or controller would just like fly away. It
I
doesn't
be
do that now. But now
setting
it's
up
doing the whole
3
where the
AKXs?
continuous calibration just keeps shifting around in random positions. And I
You
have
got
no idea why
3
it's like, it's like in
AKXs?
perfect position essentially.
What? But why?
Because I do. I have 3 PCs.
I have
23
23
AKXs.
I mean,
Like,
I've got like 8, I think. I lost count at some point, but every headset is a different one, because every headset I bought for a specific reason.
Like 30 trackers or something, and 23 headsets.
I mean, to be
And
fair, I'm
50
getting like
console
4
controllers.
more Tundra trackers. Like they're on the way right now. But
Oh my god, I'm kind of tempted to buy more tiny trackers, but I feel like when I receive the immersive buffs, I can kind of just go to Jason. Can I have more of these?
The thing is, I originally only wanted one extra tracker.
More trackers.
I originally only wanted one extra tracker so that I can do continuous collaboration with my Quest Pro or Reverb G2 as well, with full body tracking. But I ended up buying 4 so I could at least try 7-point tracking. I have no intention of actually using 7-point tracking, but I want to try it.
Where would I put it through? Because there's no hole in the front.
Yeah. Feet. Knees, hip, and shoulders. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, sorry. 10 point, yeah. I keep forgetting that the hands and the headset also include with a point calculation.
My chest tracker doesn't like me. I think it's going faulty.
Yeah, no chest tracker, no chest. Chest trackers, I think, are the least useful.
Because
yeah, I agree with that.
My hip isn't accurate. It annoys me.
There's a beach in this world.
Something funny because if you slightly tilt your waist tracker like this, you get a bigger ass.
Okay, group photo time.
Where's the beach? Oh my god.
Oh, there's the beach.
There is a beach.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, as it is nice to see this people. I'm gonna pull my glasses down so we get as much Mountain Dew as possible. Happy Saturday. The texture worked out really good on the glasses.
Camera's there.
Character.
Yeah, that's awesome. Alright, let's go. Also, you need to like move a bit.
I know, I'm gonna go down to the floor.
I'm gonna sit right here now.
Okay, everyone just move closer a bit.
I'm just gonna stand here.
Yes.
Slightly, so you're gonna get in on a photo, maybe. I can't see more than 5 people, so
Am I interrupting like a community meetup or something?
Hmm?
You have something here.
Who said that right now? You? Like, this is a face tracking community meetup. We're doing group photo right now.
How's it like looking through a pair of binoculars?
To be fair, I am using face tracking, so yeah.
Only 1% at a time. It's just how you're
But also share.
No, I only need to see one person.
What is your favorite character?
Sleepy Bo BB. In Overwatch 1 it was Roadhog, in Overwatch 2 it's Zen, and then Moira.
Squishy!
Alright, we're taking photos. We're taking photos.
Moira! This is a mess, Purple.
Keep going.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not really doing a whole lot of good myself because I like Genji.
Let me just make myself a little smaller.
You can block me now.
I got my goggles on, you can't tell.
We're all taking photos. So
the infrared lights in your eyeballs.
Wow.
If it was gonna do something,
My eyes are so warm.
How do you open the camera again?
Nymphy, take another one.
Everybody here, get Baja blasted, bitch!
I am.
Is that it?
Yay.
Yep, I'm still taking photos.
Normally that joke is better whenever I don't have face tracking.
Alright, everyone raise your hands.
Mountain Dew? Holy shit, I love that avatar. Move your ear, Purple, it's blocking my face.
I'm sorry.
So many cameras.
Close his ears, grab his ears. Yank.
No, don't. Alright, that's bad. That's all
I fix it. Hold on, here we go.
Get back in now.
Take another picture.
Why are you still dark?
Yeah, I'm taking one last one. Taking one last one.
How duck?
Jesus Christ. Okay, we're all done.
Standing on one foot for extended periods of time is very tiring. Yeah, stop it.
I didn't get a picture, god damn it.
Don't worry, it's gonna be posted in the VRCFT Discord.
Post the VRCFT.
Yep.
What's my frame rate? Yeah. God, showing everyone's avatar, I'm at 40 FPS.
You have FPS.
Yeah, I got like 15.
I'm on FM.
Alright, I'm gonna disperse a little bit because it's too crowded here.
Hey! I was about to say walk in a direction.
I don't know. Can be here in the lobby, I don't know. At least we're away from the big mass.
I like the name, by the way.
Hmm? My nickname?
I like the name, by the way.
It was literally like a shower thought kind of moment.
Like, one of the names I've seen lately was like someone that had just Ben_Dover.
I mean, you have to have some nick in some way.
And today I saw one, and it's really cringe. They called themselves Skibbity File.
Of course. Of course.
What they call themselves?
A skibbity file? That's something.
What did they call themselves?
Skibbity File.
I mean, I'm glad that the
God,
XXX Demons, Demon Destroyer 9000 XXX type of name kinda disappeared. Obviously, there are still some people who still use those nicks.
XXX Noob Slayer 69420 XXX. You mean those?
Yeah. I mean, there are still some people who still use their old nick from back in the day. And a few people who still create names like that, but they've become kind of rare, which I'm kind of thankful of. Oh my god, that is...
funny where...
Just no. Just no.
Can we flush it at least?
Like, there's also a big funny meme where Dutch people use a common word as a nickname. Like, one of them is like garden soil.
I mean, my nickname could have as well...
Translation would be potgrond.
I mean, my nickname could have could have as well been just Blumentopferde, but no, that would make me cringe all the time.
like garden soil. There's what was it again?
For context,
Water hose.
For context, Blumentopferde is German and translates roughly as
It doesn't do that, but it's like shift off. And
soil for plant pots.
Like this, and then the controller will be in the wrong position. It's weird.
You're German, I guess. Then.
I wonder if it's because there's like
Vielleicht.
some windows that like reflect or something.
Oh well, I'm Dutch. I'm your neighbor.
I mean,
Hello, neighbor. Nice to meet you.
I mean, probably you have some.
I like the Dutch
Where in
language.
Germany are we speaking?
How it called properly?
Northern Germany. That's about as accurate as I want to get
I'm
here.
in the south of the Netherlands.
What the world called?
Really far apart.
I like the Dutch language. It sounds funny to me.
It's so cringe though. It sounds so bad.
I don't know. I find it kind of funny. Like drempels. I don't know why I find that word funny, but I find it funny.
Temples.
See, here in Germany, we would call that a what was the correct term again for those?
There's also the funny thing about the word
Straßengeschwindigkeitsregulierungshügel.
So every time when I
Bureaucracy.
Like there's like there's tree, there's dredge, there's stray, and we just say boom.
There's the window over there, and then there's TV.
I mean, to be fair, we've got the German word umfahren.
Like basically shiny marble stove thing, like
which
the one
is
where they put like wood in. And then
Well, it has two meanings.
Omrijden.
Just to give an example.
Like surface reflection.
Ich werde den Baum umfahren. Has two meanings. Depending on how you pronounce a word, it can mean I'm gonna drive around the tree, or I'm gonna drive over the tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I also still have to think about the longest Dutch word, which is Autoventiel-dopjesverzekeringsmaatschappij.
Mhm.
Oh wait, it's much longer actually. It's
I actually know the longest official German word off the top of my mind. It's Rindfleisch Etikettierungs Überwachungsaufgabenübertragungsgesetz. It's a law.
Yeah, this sounds about this much.
But yeah, a law that has been deprecated.
I have a very important question. Do you know any Dutch movies? A really bad one at that.
Unfortunately, no.
Do you know a New Kids?
Doesn't ring a bell.
So, there's a really bad Dutch movie that's very famous in Germany and Poland and Belgium and Luxembourg. It's called New Kids. I live in the village where that was recorded.
Okay.
It is. You should look it up sometime if you're ever doing like a terrible movies night.
I'm
so awfully bad.
I'll be honest. I'm not very. I'm not that big.
So bad that it's funny.
I'm honestly not that big of a guy for Schläferz. Schläferz is a
For what now?
Schläferz used to be a like a reoccurring series on one of the private broadcasters here in Germany. It basically is a shorthand for schlechteste Filme aller Zeiten. Worst movies of all times. And so they would just play like the worst movies of all times, as the name says.
What is Avatar, by the way?
It's adorable. But it seems like it has a stuck expression right now.
It's broken, but it used to where if you punch it, I will ragdoll. But I think I broke it somehow.
No, it's still ragdolls. But the expressions are kind of stuck. There you go.
Yeah. So, I once was in a lobby with like 50 people. We were all running this avatar and then punching the shit out of everyone. Really funny.
It's this way.
I mean, it is an adorable avatar, and it's also kind of funny avatar. Wink. And goodbye.
Yeah.
I think it is actually slightly broken because it does these sound effects, but it was barely playing it just then. Sounded like it was cut off or something.
Also, one of my avatars went offline, but it was a avatar which was just a square on the ground. If you step onto it, it would clone your avatar to the side in the pixelated version.
Interesting.
But I lost it.
I wonder if it was actually removed because it was like exploiting some shader things that VRChat doesn't allow on avatars.
I think so. Okay, by the way, do you know the what's it called again? The Kobo doll avatar?
I've seen it before, yeah. It's an adorable model.
Do you know that they made a chubby version of that? And you know what's even worse? I have the version that's even worse than that one.
No, boy. Sounds
So,
like
the avatar would not fit through that door in this size.
sounds like a fun time.
Big fun. I do also still have this one because I think it's funny.
Oh yeah, that one. I mean, I don't have that many funny avatars, but I have made this one. Give it some time to load.
Oh, it's the 2D version of yours.
Okay, there we go. Yep.
Isn't that like very optimized in some way?
No, because it is basically the full avatar. It's just that the armature is squished. That's why the AK just completely That's why the AK just completely is scuffed at the legs. Because it does not know what to do.
Like you flattened the entire avatar, or?
Yep. I flattened. If you look at the side, if you look at it from the side, you could actually see that it still has a little bit of depth. But it's very little.
It's very minimal, yeah. I should try that one day. If I reinstall Unity again, because I haven't done that since I reset my entire computer.
I mean, I was thinking of actually doing this as a toggle on the model. But I don't know if I can do that with the outline. I don't know if I can do that with the outline, because the outline kind of makes it seem like a paper cutout.
Yourself. You should make one that's like completely flattened, and then put like the white Putin meme sound under it.
Talking about white Putin. Although I don't.
Oh God.
Okay, so hang on with me for a moment. This avatar is still SDK2. It's very scuffed because it hasn't been updated in ages. Actually, how bad is it? Let me just see. Okay, it's mostly just the ears that are broken. And yeah, this is the original version of that model. Of that Rainbow Chi. And, oh, it's the toggle is broken. Okay, that's great.
I actually have a Hopkin.
Is it in the floor for you?
Fishbones in the ears.
Is it in the floor for you, or?
No, for me it's floating.
Okay. Because the toggle just put the head in the floor for me. Like, my viewport was fine, but
that's funny.
The head was in the floor. But yeah, this avatar is like completely scuffed and
Here have a depiction of me on the average VRChat meet. I like to just have like a bunch of people copy this avatar and just go stand next to a group of people until they notice.
Alright. Let's be glowy a little bit. Oh, those avatars.
There's a lot of like hate against people who cannot afford a VRChat or an avatar base, so they just get a copy off of someone else.
I don't care. I mean, publics exist for the very reason
I-
that not everyone wants, or not everyone wants a custom avatar or has the money for it, or the time.
Oh, I mean more like you have the file for it, but you didn't pay for it.
Oh, that's...
But for the only sole purpose to use as a base. Just
that
like,
I still...
no edits. Base.
That I still despise, because in order to get the files without paying for it, you have to rip it, and artists get paid very, very little. Any cent matters for them. You wouldn't go into a museum and just take a picture off a wall because, oh, I like that picture. I want to have that in my home.
You know what's weird? Whenever I start to lag out...
I mean, isn't like the whole reason you go to a museum though?
It'll replay...
You go to a museum to look at that stuff, not to steal it.
Like you said something like, beside all the issues, and then it would wait. And then
Copyright infringement.
4 times. I'm like, okay. What? Beside all the issues, what?
But for real though, I did that in the past. Right now, because I have a job, I'm actually slowly buying all the avatars.
It's good.
I'm turning legit.
I mean, to be fair, when it comes to like software and gaming and whatnot, I can kind of understand it. In that case, you're not stealing from an individual creator, you're quote-unquote stealing from Big Corp. As long as it's like not an indie game, of course. But for avatars that you see in VRChat, those are not from big corps. From big corporations. Those are from individual people.
Like I know, do you know a game called Dyson Sphere Program?
Yes, I've heard of it before.
I put a tutorial on how to rip the models from Dyson Sphere Program in a post on Thingiverse because I got myself an artificial star. I 3D printed it, and then the star itself is a lamp.
I mean, for that, that's absolutely fine, right? You did it for your own personal use case, and then you told other people how they can do it themselves. They can replicate that for themselves.
Yeah.
You didn't go out and tell people, oh, you know, steal that game. By the way, here's a download link.
Oh no, it's not that. Definitely not. No, it's just like if you have the game and you have a 3D printer, you want to print some stuff. I don't have the time to rip all of it myself. Here's how you do it. You can go on and go fuck off, basically.
Yeah. Like in that case, you still have a prerequisite that people need to have the game, quote unquote. But
yeah.
I was more talking.
File that I actually uploaded was the lamp itself, because you need to upload something to Thingiverse.
Yeah, but I mean, what people in VRChat mostly hate on is people ripping models and then either using those and then either uploading the same avatar to their own account, or using it or modifying it in some way and then uploading it to their account.
Yeah, it's basically like, you know, like a base of a Nanachi? Just that, nothing else. That's something I upload.
I mean, as long
like
as it's
no
not...
hair, no clothes, no nothing.
As long as it's
Just
not
the base.
As long as it's not from a paid base.
It's not proper. Like it is still private, and it's also it is a paid base. But like I said, all the bases that I have, I'm slowly buying back like an original file.
I mean, in this case, this is the Kopochi. I don't think you can really get the Kopochi legit anymore because Kopo just isn't answering DMs and it was never uploaded to Gumroad. But right, I made this edit with the face tracking. I actually bought it back in the day when it was when Kopo was still answering DMs. So all my stuff is completely legit. And then if And then I made this edit with the face tracking. And if anyone wants their Kopuchi avatar with face tracking, I have no problem giving them files, as long as they can prove to me that they already have the files. I do not want to be the first point of access for piracy, but I don't mind sharing my edit with people who already have the model.
Yeah.
And that's the Zoichi that you have there,
I'm
right?
completely fine with that as well. Like, hey, if you have the base model, it's more like you buy the base model and you get the expansion pack for free. And it's completely fine, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But if you have like an avatar like the Mama Gen, you know, the Mama Gen avatar that I just used, they have a ridiculously expensive avatar, but they don't do any support on it, like 0.
I mean, some creators do be like that.
There's no face tracking support, there's no eye tracking support. They haven't even added it to the base package.
I mean, face and eye tracking are
Same as
very rare, to be fair. Like, if a creator puts it on there, it's more likely because they want to support VTubing. And in that case, they have the AR blend shape.
It's like they don't even upload like a separate expansion for it. Like a lot of like the Rexium, they make a separate expansion pack, which is just for VR tracking.
No.
Like that's not even on there.
The Rex is one, like, whether or not it supports it is all up to the creator. Not everyone has face and or eye tracking hardware, and in a lot of cases, when people can test something, they just won't add it. Which, honestly, in my opinion, is totally fine. And even with the AR kit things, that's just for VTubing, blah blah blah, in Japan very popular. That also makes sense, and you know, if you're talking about the modules that you have from ADJerry, for example, that's someone else doing a modification for a base they don't own. Or for a base that they purchased, specifically. It's not their bases.
Also,
so
you
for example,
are aware of
what you're using right now.
You know the
model you're using right now, that's the
this
Zoichi.
is the one that I
it
mentioned.
does not come with face or eye tracking. ADJerry has made a module for it. But ADJerry is not who made the Zoichi.
Like there's, you know this avatar?
Oh, you load it as a fallback. Oh, because download size. Yeah, I limit my download size to 80 megs.
I'll add you as a friend, by the way.
Cutie.
So, this avatar, you know that the Hyenid avatar that had a bunch of assets on it? Yeah, that's this one.
Okay.
And it got taken down because a lot of the assets were illegal. I didn't even know that at the time. But that's when I received
154 material slots,
and it got deleted by a bunch of people and removed and bullshit.
500 bones.
Somehow it's still alive because I'm probably like the package came with like a picture. When you upload it, you see the picture on the thing. I didn't use that, and that's I think why I still have the avatar.
I think you do have to start over.
Could be.
14 lights.
Yeah, I switched safety settings back on. It's
yeah, I'm changing back to something else.
That avatar, that avatar, I like to consider to be a quote-unquote cancerous avatar. It's what I call avatars that are just unnecessarily packed with tons of things that don't look good or just
they're not
bring
they're
down
not
performance
like,
for no apparent reason.
Like just separate it in different files or something. But like it's more like a self crasher. There's so much stuff on it will crash.
Yeah, like people need to understand that if you are an avatar maker, you are responsible for the game's optimization. It's true with anything where you have custom content. If you're providing custom content, you're responsible for making the content perform well in the game. It has nothing to do with game. It's all your content. And
it's usually the people with either the higher need avatar that has like a million assets on it, and then it has like 2 million polygons, or it's the e-boy, e-girl kind of avatar. And then it's the same person running like a 1060, and then they're like complaining, why am I getting 10 FPS?
yeah, it's though in the furry department, from what I've seen, it's Hyenids, it's I want to say I've seen a Mamagen.
With a shitload of jiggle physics.
But yeah, it's
what the hell?
You can pretty much tell like from a distance. Oh, that's one of those cancer avatars. Just better hide it prematurely. And I mean, my safety settings have managed to throw those avatars out pretty well so far. Like I said, I have my download size set to 80 megs. My download size is set to 80 megs, and my uncompressed avatar size is set to 250.
Like every avatar you see me use that has the basic texture on it, but you cannot clone it because it's set to private. It's one of those avatars that I mentioned. But like just like this one. This is the only exception where I actually added something because someone gave this to me. Like it's a free package you can download. There's the little clause and it's very clean.
I mean, it looks very optimized.
Oh, you have the unnecessary chatbox X group.
I was also messing around with
used to be 7-zip, but I think this is more important in VRChat.
That is the
actually there was a shiny initiator, so
I think I'm not like 100%, but I think that's in the open beta right now that you can individually toggle off chat boxes for people.
I wouldn't care. I would still mute those people
I saw that on Reddit.
because people who use these chat boxes oftentimes who have these perma chat boxes, 99% of the time they are not worth talking to. I'm serious.
Probably, yeah. But it's just obnoxious that they have the chat box.
Oh Jesus!
So, Rainbow now.
It's good that
yeah, that shader is like.
If you could like toggle them.
Sorry for using that word, but that is like eye cancer. Sorry.
I know. And also, I'm running my Quest Pro at godlike max bitrate, and that thing is taking every single bit of my bitrate.
49 material slots,
like,
2 lights.
When I'm looking at everything else is like really blurry and like low bitrate because it's focusing all the resources on this.
I give you one suggestion: switch out of that avatar into something that's more optimized. There are people here who barely able to run the game at all at these meetups, and
I'm running.
That definitely does not help.
Find something. Yeah, I'm trying to find something. I'll use this then.
Just use the nanachis. The nanachis are optimized.
Yeah. Also, nanachis are adorable and fluffy.
Chimgi nanachis are optimized.
I've yet to see someone mix a nanachi with a Navalin, which is basically this. This is the closest thing to it.
I mean, there are people who do kit bashes all the time between all different kinds of avatar models. For example, one thing that I'm somewhat working on right now is this one. It's mostly Rantichi. It's mostly Rantichi, but it has the ears and the horns from Akita Dragon. And the texture is also bake transfer from Akita Dragon model that I have. It's not perfect. It has like some weirdness going on, especially like here where the stuff gets pinched, and here at the arms. actually commissioning
also,
someone to properly redraw
there's
the
also a
texture.
public avatar that I have that I want a very specific thing for. Like I want an exact copy of the avatar, but as where. So this is a avatar with 2 arms sets and 2 hands.
Oh my god, that is trippy to look at.
But what I want is that the bottom hand has a toggle that if I were to move my hand up, that this hand would move down in the opposite direction.
I'm not sure if you can actually do that, because the way those work is normally they use a constraint, and sometimes they have the option to freeze one set of hands or one hand, and what they then do is just disable a constraint.
I'm actually changing into this because
But
this is the best face tracking I could find.
But the problem with... Oh yeah, that's the Jerry Nova Core. That one is looks really cute. Yeah, and that avatar,
Also,
I literally just made it in like a day, and honestly,
this color scheme that you're using right now is exactly the color scheme that I want to commission a new soda.
This was literally just, 80s kind of synthwave themed in terms of the colors. I made it for the last VRCFT Discord, for the last VRCFT community meetup, which was like themed 80s synthwave kind of theme. The theme was announced the day before the meetup, so I had exactly 1 day to cobble this together, and yeah.
If you can make a edit of this, like this one, for the Fall Valley, I'm gonna pay you $20.
I don't have that model. I don't have any Avali model.
I really want that.
And in general, I don't do texture. And in general, I don't do texture commissions or avatar commissions. The only type of commission that I do at all is a head swap commission for Ranty GV2 and Kopuchi.
So I have some inspiration.
I mean, this is a public model. You can just clone it. I mean, you can see it. Adorable bean.
Need a glasses toggle though. Oh.
Oh, you don't want?
Make my camera go back
I guess I
to
can do that.
Normal mode.
Or no, I can't. Fuck. The glasses are not a separate mesh. Like they are in Blender, but the way I've exported it, it's not a separate mesh. It's like part of a body mesh for optimization reasons.
Wait, hold up.
Dissolve.
No.
Oh, the transparent.
That is performance-wise not a good idea. Like the same thing as weight painting the glasses to a separate bone and just scaling that bone to 0. That is another option, but it's also performance-wise not a good idea because now the glasses are rendered all the time.
It's not a good idea. I know, but it doesn't really matter, you know. Then I have them all the time.
The problem you have with toggles is
Look at the camera.
No matter what you do.
For a sec.
I'm just gonna stand up, actually.
Yeah. You're high up. You need to be on the ground.
Now this way you can also photograph the beans, you know.
Thank you.
Ah.
Thank you. I really needed the inspiration of like color patterns because I want to get I want to commission someone for this avatar, so I want to get the face tracking like a little better, and I want the color scheme of that avatar on this, but I also want a toggle where, you know, the audio link system for VRChat. I want each individual feather to be one of the audio visualizer things.
Honestly, I have no idea what you can and can't do with shaders, because I only ever done basic things. Stop messing with my ears. Meh.
I found a shader for one of the avatars. It's just a lava lamp and it's transparent as well.
Fun fact, he can see the ears. So he's blind now, because, doesn't look like it, but he's blind now. He can only see ears.
Oh. Okay, the eyes are like, I can still see it. The eyes are like, not where they are.
Yeah, the thing is, if you just block the eye visually, it's actually like at the edge of the FOV. It's more like, your eyes are more like at the center. That's the problem with big Nanachi head.
Because I like that one more than the one that I just saved. I'm gonna favorite this one.
But yeah, this one is it's the newest model that I have, with basically no customization options.
I have trackers on actual like foot. So if I had shoes on, I could do like the whole like that, you know, the Michael Jackson like thing where it goes like this, like on both foot. But like, I can do it if I don't have shoes on. I can do it if I had.
But yeah, like I said, this one's kind of 80 synthwave themed, and ended up actually putting some wraith elements in it as well because it's so glowy, like the little glow stick rings.
Oh, it doesn't look like anything really. I'm not having tracking issue again. Oh, it like shifts. Oh, like one of my stuff
funny
shifts.
Avatar that I have saved. It's someone who imported a spore creature,
like
fully rigged it, and it's full body compatible.
Oh, that's amazing. That's creative.
It's not even a normal. It's not even a normal like humanoid shape. It's a scorpion shape.
Of course it is. Yeah, one thing that
I
that I don't think people actually know that that much of its model is the sun on the back. You know how all the glowy bits, they have like this sort of line pattern, glowy line pattern going on it. The sun does not. That one is
yeah.
It's like little sparkles. Oh my god, that is something.
it snaps rotate. It snaps to rotate, but I can still move.
It looks like something from a PS2 game.
Well, it's Spore. You know Spore?
And in the, like,
you missed an absolute gaming gem. You need to play Spore now.
It's not even just
I had the PS2. I had the PS2. I still have a PS2.
On a valley. It's literally the origin of a valleys.
Yeah.
I see. Like the only games I played on PS2 were like WRC Rally and like.
It's not on PS2. It's on PC. It's a PC game. It was made by EA.
Game from 2008, and this.
Okay, so I didn't have a PC.
It's still amazing, better than some games released today.
I think it might actually be listed on the EA thing. Let me see. You might be able to buy it on EA.
Because it's so optimized. Because the way that files get stored on Spore is because they're not saved as like a normal file type. Everything is being saved in the PNG format.
Yeah.
Like the whole rig of a Spore creature is saved in the PNG.
I know.
So
they use
a PNG of a you could just load any PNG off of Google and yeet it in there. Like it works.
Yesn't. They used what's called something what's called steganography to hide the extra data necessary for like the mesh and whatnot in the picture. So you can't load any file because it's still looking for the extra data hidden using steganography inside the picture. So if that's missing, then it can't open the picture. But
and
you can just share the picture with people, and the people can then open up that picture and load the model from a PNG.
But what I'm trying to find is a converter that converts a PNG file to an FBX model.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if I had something like that, I could just import Spore creations. Like I could use the creature creator or the Spore creator editor to 3D model. Like I would want to do that.
Yeah, that might exist, but might also not. Okay, I can't open up the EA app because it locked me out again. It's fucking stupid. But if I just enter in Spore on DuckDuckGo, yeah, I was just gonna mention it that it's on Steam. It's actually even on sale. You can buy it for $5 right now.
Wanna know something funny? The Spore servers are still running, but the only way to get access to the Spore servers is to buy a physical copy.
Ah!
So what?
I still have one! That's why I just think,
Here's the funny thing. You have the physical copy, it has a code inside of the box, yeah? That's your key for your game, yeah? EA does not allow keys to be visible on Steam. Like you have to go to customer support on EA to get the Steam key, see like actual key, because that key is required to log in to the servers of Spore.
I do remember that at some point.
What just do is they just get the physical game, just use that code into their digital copy, and then it also works.
I do remember though that at some point they made something with the service that just meant you can't really just use it. Like last time I actually launched Spore, it was in offline mode because it couldn't connect to the service. There's something extra you have to do.
Like you can.
No, I have a physical copy. I don't use the Steam version. I don't have it on Steam. I only have the DVD version.
I know, but you need the code to log in. Like it asks you to log in, but somewhere in the setting, I don't really remember how it works, but somewhere you have to fill in the physical copy code.
No, I think it's just once
to log in.
Yeah, I think it was more something to do with like the account thing that it, that thing didn't work or something.
You had the account pop up.
It has been too long. I don't remember the details, and you can tell me as much as you want right now. I will have forgotten it by the time I play it again.
So, the account you log into in Spore, you need to link that to your EA account, like from the launcher from EA.
Oh, that was probably the thing that was missing.
You use the code, and then it works.
Yeah, that was probably the thing, because the actual like Spore dedicated account servers have been shut down, right? And if you just launch the game from the DVD copy, it'll try to use those servers, which have been long turned off. That was the thing.
There's also something called Dark Spore. Know that?
Never heard of it, but then again, I'm not really that deep into Spore. And last time I've played it was back years ago.
So Dark Spore was a version that came after Spore, but it flopped because it was non-related to how Spore worked initially, and it was an online server.
It wasn't always online servers, I know.
Server, it was an online service, then they shut down the server, and you could no longer play the game. However, there is a Discord that's trying to resurrect every single file from the game and making local servers. Like you could download a local server and then play the game. It's really awesome.
Yeah. The only problem is with these sort of deals, with these sort of things, is if you don't have any data dumps of when the service was still active, it's pretty much an impossible task.
Yeah, that's basically how impossible it is, because that's literally what they're doing.
Yeah. But yeah, I know the Spore sequel, quote-unquote, didn't have as much to do with the actual Spore, and it wasn't always online service, and it's a game you can no longer play. It's kind of like with the Crew 1, except with the Crew 1, people knew Ubisoft was gonna do the thing, and so they collected data dumps. The same thing with the Wii U and 3DS online services.
There's also something really stupid. I play, other than VRChat, I play another game. It's a really greedy pay-to-win bullshit game. But it's really, really scummy.
What? World of Tanks, maybe? Sounds like that.
There's so many there are so many games like that just completely scummy and just they're designed to pull out as much money out of your pocket as possible.
Shitload of money, and then you nerf the item in 2 weeks.
There are tons of games like that are just designed to pull money out of your pocket.
However, because the entire community is just so done with it, the entire player base within the start of this year up till now has lost 12,000 players.
I mean, Concord.
So it went from 14,000 players to 2,000 players in less than 6 months.
I mean, that's not even the biggest flop of the decade. I mean, Concord. Sony poured so much money into that IP, only to pull the entire game within 6 days of it launching.
Oof. Oof.
I mean, I was one of the many people who were like, when it was pulled, who were like, what? That was even a game? Like, many people didn't even know that was a thing. But, yeah, it was a huge flop, and Sony just pulled the entire game in just 6 days into its existence.
One of the flops that actually redeemed itself was Cyberpunk. I actually really enjoy Cyberpunk now.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, it's no longer bugged.
I know.
No bugs.
At least on
now.
At least on the PC version.
Yeah, that's true. Like I played it at the beginning where my motorcycle would just fall to the ground. Now it's like so refined, like it's practically impossible to get a bug.
The stupidest thing is that they
released something.
The stupidest thing is that they decided
because your GPU can't load it.
In my opinion, the stupidest thing with Cyberpunk remains that they decided it was a good idea to release a port of that game on the PS4 and Xbox One, even though they knew that it was already gonna be a struggle to run on mid-range PCs, and those are faster, and those at the time were already quite a bit faster than an Xbox One and PS4.
Like a 2060 9600 is like a lot faster than a PS4.
Yeah. Like, it's always with consoles. When they launch, there are a lot of gaming for the money that you spend. But just a few years later down the line, PCs at the same price point are already outpacing them. Because consoles generally hold their price a lot longer than PC hardware does. They remain fixed in their hardware spec. They remain fixed in the hardware spec throughout their entire lifetime, and they're mostly designed to make
like
money
Nintendo Switch.
through the game sales in the beginning. So they're heavily subsidized.
Like all the games for Nintendo Switch are designed to run at 30 FPS.
I mean, that's what mobile hardware gets for you. The Switch is a handheld first and a home console second. If Nintendo really wanted the Switch to be a proper home console, they would have needed to go through with a split computing, like patent thing that they filed during the NX development, right? Where you have a dock where you put your mobile console into, and then in docked mode, it doesn't just use the SoC inside of the handheld, it also uses some extra compute hardware inside the dock to render the game. Effectively, making it a much more powerful console. But the only reason I think that Nintendo ended up
doing that
scrapping that idea.
Did in the Wii U.
No, they did not.
Well, technically no, because
no.
You just streamed it to the screen, but still.
Exactly,
yeah,
the gamepad has no compute in it. It's literally just a controller with. It's literally just a Wi-Fi controller with a screen inside of it. It runs on 2.4 gigahertz like Wi-Fi. Ah. Hello. I like the group you're in.
Little better one. Or like a Finnish. I'm not representing it, but I mean like a Finnish little rip-off on a store group. It says
Here we have a meme where someone said, instead of saying Lidl, they just said Lidl.
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 Like, we going to the Lidl.
No, it's actually pronounced, like, officially it's actually pronounced Lidl, because they are a German retailer.
That's a meme in the Netherlands. Like,
I guess
someone pronounced it as Lidl, and now everyone's just saying Lidl.
That's the mage. It's the same thing with Aldi. It's Aldi. Also, fun fact: did you know that there's only two countries in the world where both Aldi Nord and Aldi Süd are present? Because, yeah, that's the thing. There are two different Aldis.
Wanna know something stupid in the Netherlands? The brand Wendy's wanted to move to the Netherlands. However, some local restaurant was already using that name, and they didn't want to sell it to Wendy's for over $100 million.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's the same kind of thing with a Big Mac in Ireland. McDonald's actually lost their trademark right on the Big Mac in Ireland because there's already a burger chain in Ireland called Supermax. And the Max being spelled M-A-C-S. And because they were established in Ireland way before McDonald's, they hold the trademark on the Mac. So, as a response, when that whole trademark thing fell through for McDonald's, as a response, Burger King, at least for a little bit, sold not Big Macs in Ireland. They just made full use of it.
There's this channel that does like basically Dutch promotion, where he does like infrastructure videos and stuff about the Netherlands. But he is originally from Canada, in a place called London, and he calls it fake London.
I mean, there are plenty of examples of just cities in North America that are just named like cities in Europe. Not just North America.
Puerto Rico and stuff like that, and Las Palmas and La Palma and stuff like that.
In some Caribbean country, I forgot which one it was, it is possible to go by ship. Was it? Yeah, I think to sail from, like...
Aha, I know you.
Paris to,
Fucking hell. No way.
Was it London? I forgot what it was. But it was like 2 big cities in Europe, like 2 big city names in Europe, and they just have it like as 2 little places on that little archipel. So you have like the C-shaped island with 2 places. I know what song people meant. What? I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's kind of a problem with being mute and also using a keyboard in VR. Like the thing they're typing was from like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Ready?
Sure.
Oh shit, I've got your gun.
Turn on your mic.
That gun. Oh,
Please.
shit,
I mean, I don't have any problem with mutes, but you know, if you use a virtual keyboard, yeah, then you're just way too slow. Oh my god.
Most of the mutes actually need to actually use like hand language, like sign language, but that's pretty much impossible if you're using an avatar that doesn't even have hands.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, coming back to the Aldi thing that I'm. What?
What's up? I'm alive.
Hello. But coming back to the Aldi thing that I mentioned. So there's 2 different Aldis. Long story short, they used to be one, and then the 2 brothers who then took over the company disagreed on a certain thing, and then they split the company between each other. And so now in Germany there's Aldi Nord and there's Aldi Süd. In most countries, there's only one of the 2 Aldis present. If it's like an orange and blue Aldi symbol, then it's Aldi Süd. And if it's like blue and white, then it's Aldi Nord. However, there's only...
The blue and white one we have over here.
Yeah, so Aldi Nord. The better Aldi, as I like to say it. But there's only one other country besides Germany where both are present. But it's only in Germany where they're both called Aldi. The other country is the United States. Over there, Aldi Nord is called Trader's Joe. Which you might recognize as one of the Aldi Nord brands.
Oh.
That is barely safe for work.
Spin. Spin. Spin.
What?
Spin. Spinning mushroom.
No, I don't see it. But yeah, I think I'm actually gonna hop off now, because it's kind of getting late.
Feel free to add me on Discord, because my Discord is in my status.
I generally don't add people as friends on Discord anymore unless I actually, you know them a little bit better.
Understandable.
So,
It can't hurt to ask though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask. I don't mind people asking. I mean, that's why it says in my description why I don't accept random friend requests. I don't want to look at that avatar, I'm sorry. Just makes me uncomfortable. Hope you can understand.
It has how many tries? 285,000.
My USB charger cable or my battery bank is run out of battery.
What's the time for me? It's 1 a.m. Yeah, I should go to sleep.
There's still 55 people, oh my god. That's a very festive engineer.
He just looks like a normal engineer to me.
He has some very festive lights on him. I think some Christmas light
Like a
strings.
normal one to me.
But yeah. It was a fun meetup. And nice to meet you.
Wow.
You were very...
And I say this to everyone. If you ever see me on VRChat, feel free to join.
I always forget that. Because I have way too many people on my friends list, which is why I don't accept random friend requests anymore. And usually I always join the same sort of people, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's like...
Like, no offense, it's just out of habit.
No, I mean more like it also goes both ways. Like if I were to send an invite request to you, would you please accept? Because usually, I don't really hang out with anyone. So when I just world hop, I send an invite request to everyone.
Oh.
And I only get like 1 or 2 responses.
I only respond when you know, I'm not already in an instance with people that I'm already hanging out with. So I hope you will understand.
That's fine.
But if someone requests to join me, then I don't mind. I will happily accept it as long as the situation allows for.
That's what I mean.
You want a hug? Alright.
So many people online.
Bah. Stop it.
Well, yeah, I put one of my base stations like... I'm gonna go
you
know, like those like glass...
Alright, bye-bye. It was nice seeing ya. Ciao, ciao.
Wow.
Like those like glass things that have like stuff in it, like, and then the thing closes and it has the glass in there, so it's basically like inside there, and then the glass is in front of it. So I don't know if it's bad that it has the glass in front of it.
Depends on how transparent the glass is.
It's like pretty transparent.
But yeah, if it
like, I don't know,
shapes the light, then it can cause problems. Anyways, I'm gonna hop off now. It was a nice meetup. It was nice seeing you. So yeah, good night and bye bye.
Boy boy bean.
Alright, good night.
Good night, you.
Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. If so, leave a follow. If not, well, don't. And I will see you guys in the next live stream. Bye bye and good night.